Hare Krishna, everybody. We are very fortunate to have the celebration of the appearance day of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. Traditionally, it is called a Pran Pratishtha Samaro. Many people think that Pran Pratishtha means that we are injecting the life in these deities, but that's a wrong conception. No one has the potency to inject the life into the Lord. Rather, it's other way around. Lord Krishna is the one who injects a life in everybody. हमारे में शक्ति नहीं कि भगवान के अंदर वो लोग प्राण डालें. प्राण प्रतिष्ठा समारोह means we invite Lord Krishna to please accept our invitation to stay in this form of the deities. So when we get the deities from the market, so we can't worship them as it is. So we bring those deities at home and then we invite the Lord and request them to please come and stay in the form of those deities and accept our worship. So that's what we have done today. We have invited the Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra to come and stay in these particular forms. Lord Jagannath, the Lord Jagannath means the Lord of the universe. Baladeva is known as the Bala means strength, Deva means God. So Baladeva is the God of the strength, and strength is any kind of strength. It can be physical strength, mental strength, or our strength of the wealth, anything. And Subhadra, Su means very, and Bhadra means auspicious. So Subhadra means the goddess of auspiciousness. And we should be very much thankful to Srila Prabhupada because it is his mercy that we are able to celebrate Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra, his appearance day, and install the deities outside India. Otherwise, 50 years back, before Prabhupada went to States, Jagannath was supposed to stay in the Puri itself, it won't go out anywhere. And when Lord Srila Prabhupada started Jagannath Yatra in the West, there was a lot of objection from the people in the Puri, particularly the priest community. They said, how can you do it outside Odisha? So Prabhupada said the very meaning of Jagannatha is Lord of the universe. He is not the Lord of Odia. So you can't restrict him to the Odisha only. He is free to go anywhere and everywhere in the world. So since then, the Rath Yatra of Jagannath Ji has become very popular all over the world. And all over the world, you will see so many places and houses and temples where we have the beautiful form of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra is, the traditional temple, the largest temple around the world is in the Puri. That is spread in about 16 acres. And it's a 900 years old temple. And the total height of the temple is about 65 meters. And the chakra itself, which is there, it's about 3.5 meters. And there is a flag on the temple of the Jagannath Ji, which is changed every day. The Puri is a very, very mysterious place, and the lot of pastimes of Jagannath keep taking place in that place. So many things happens in that place. Still, we do not know what is the reason of those things happening. For example, generally, whenever there is a shikhar is there, the shadow will come on the earth. But in the Jagannath temple, you go to the temple, there is no shadow on the earth. It's without any shadow. There is no bird who will be sitting on the shikhar of the temple. The Jagannath Ji kitchen is the largest kitchen in the world for making the prasadam for the Lord. We have the 4 dham. We have the Badrinath, Dwarka Dham, then Puri and Rameshwaram. So it is said the Lord takes the bath in Badri Dham, he dresses up in Dwarka Dham, he eats prasadam, bhoga in Puri, and Rameshwar Dham, he goes and take rest. It is the largest kitchen, and daily there are 500 cookers, 500 cooks, 300 helpers, and I think 750 burners are there. And they are 24 hours engaged in making the bhoga for the Lord. And it is said in 1 hour, you can make the bhoga for 1 lakh devotees. At the time of Jagannath Yatra, I think almost more than 20 lakh people, they visit the Puri. And a lot of the business management school professionals have visited that place to find out how do they manage such a big festival, that having 20 lakh people without any management and feeding them for nearly 2 or 3 days. And about the appearance of this particular form of Lord Jagannath, there is a pastime in the scripture. It is given in the Iskand Puran. The queens of Dwarka, they always used to wonder. Earlier Krishna was in the Vrindavan, and from Vrindavan he went to Dwarka. And when he went to Dwarka, the queens of Dwarka, they always used to wonder that Dwarka is full of the opulence. The queens of Dwarka always used to wonder that what is great about Vrindavan pastimes and why Krishna is not able to forget them despite having so much opulence. So one day they all approached Rohini Devi, Rohini Mata, who is the mother of Balaram, and she had the fortune of seeing the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. And they requested Rohini Mata that could you please tell us that what is the secret of the pastimes of Vrindavan? And we should remember the pastimes of Vrindavan are really confidential. Those are in the Madhurya Bhav. Madhurya Bhav is the like conjugal love, where the people worship Krishna as their, the husband, And some of the Vrindavan Vasi, they worship Krishna like Yashoda Mata as mother also. So those pastimes of Vrindavan are very confidential. And Rohini Mata said, not everyone should hear. And Lord Krishna and Balaram should not know that I have told you those pastimes. So they deputed Subhadra Mai outside the palace that, okay, while Rohini said to Subhadra that, okay, now Krishna and Balaram has gone to Vrindavan. You just stand at the door as I narrate the pastimes of Lord Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes to all these Dwarkavasis. And what happened as Rohini started talking about the pastimes of Lord Krishna, Krishna and Balaram returned earlier than they were expected. And they both stood next to, like one, Krishna stood on the, one side of Subhadra and Balaram stood on other side of Subhadra. And Subhadra Mata was in the center. And when Krishna and Balaram, they heard the pastimes, what they had done in the past, they couldn't believe. They were so sweet, they were so amazing. And the effect of hearing those pastimes was that you see the beautiful eyes of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. The eyes are dilated, those have become very big. So the eyes of all the three deities became dilated and the heads got compressed and the parts of the body, they got distracted. And so that's how, Lord Krishna and Balaram and Subhadra, they got this beautiful form. And there are other pastimes also related to Lord Jagannath. But the thing is that from each pastime, we have to learn something. Krishna, whenever he comes down on this material world, he comes and shows number of pastimes to teach us something. So from this pastime, what I told you is that Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they assumed this particular form. Or how did they got this particular form? Because they heard their own glories. They heard about what they had done or heard about their pastimes. So this was the effect of hearing Krishna's pastime on Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra. So the way they had the effect, similarly we also have the effect on our existence, hearing about the Lord. And there are several effects on our existence on hearing Krishna's pastimes. And Kunti Devi speaks very nicely in one of the verses. He says, Shrivanti Gayanti Grananti Abhishnasa Smaranti Nandanti Tave Hitam Jana Taeva Pashyanti Achiren Tavakam Bhava Pravaho Parvam Yat Padambujam. So Kunti Devi says, Shrivanti Gayanti Grananti Abhishnasa. He said, anybody who Shravan means hears, then after hearing, Gayanti means speaks. And once we do two things, if we hear something and then repeat, so what happens? We have the remembrance, right? It's very natural sequence. When we send our children to the school, why do they go to the school? The textbooks are there in the home also. We send them to the school for hearing. When they hear, the teacher will ask them repeat, and then write. And with what happens? They are able to remember. So if you do these three things, Shranvanti, Gayanti, then Smaranti. And if anybody says that I don't have the time to hear, I don't have the ear to chant, I don't have the time to remember, then finally Kunti Devi says, Abhinandanti, Nandanti. That you just praise the people who are doing these three things, hearing, chanting, hearing, singing or remembering. If you can't hear, you can't sing, you can't remember. You simply praise those people who are doing these three activities. And then the effect is there that Pashyanti ev chirenya tavakam. Chiren means without any delay. Pashyanti means see. Tavakam charanam. That we are able to see the lotus feet of Krishna or we are able to engage ourselves in his service. And once we engage ourselves in Krishna's service, then what happens? Then we start becoming, we get the uncontaminated happiness. Nirvana Sukh Samvided. In the material world, we don't have the pure happiness. Whatever happiness is there, that's always contaminated with some kind of distress. We all have the experience, right? We all try to express our happiness. But somewhere in some corner of the heart, somewhere in our family around us, something is happening which is not pleasing to us, which we do not want, right? There is not even a single moment anybody can say that I had an uncontaminated happiness. Is that true or not? But only when we engage ourselves in Krishna's service, then we can experience Nirvana Sukh Samvideh, Gajendra says, uncontaminated happiness. And the process always starts from hearing and chanting. By the transcendental, sound vibration. 2 weeks back we had an installation of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra at our house for one of the deities. And that time we were discussing what is the effect of hearing about Krishna, or what is the effect of chanting Krishna's name, not in the mind, so that others can hear. So I narrated one thing which I had heard recently, that there was a elderly lady. She happened to visit states to see his daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law went for a, what do the ladies have, what kind of party? Kitty party, Yeah, they were in the kitty party, So the ladies, they got some water, and they started chatting, And after they finished the chatting and other talks, they drank the same water what they had ordered 20 minutes back, So that time, the elderly woman told her daughter-in-law that back in our days, 60 years back, she said, we won't drink such water, which had remained uncovered for 20 minutes, and where the people around were talking other things. And daughter-in-law says, why? She said, because whatever you talked, that energy has gone into this water, and that energy is not good for us. So what she wanted to say, that whatever we speak, which is not transcendental, or whatever we speak, either transcendental or non-transcendental, has got the effect not only on ourselves, but even the things around us. And one thing we will all understand or appreciate, that in this world, each and everything produces sound. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayo, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revicha. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this material world is made of 5 elements. Whatever we see in this material world has got one or more of 5 elements. Right or no? There is nothing in this material world which is free from one of the 5 elements. Bhumi, right? You see anything in this material world, everything will have either earth or water or fire or air or ether, right? Whatever we see in this material world is simply the transformation of these 5 elements, right or not? And each and every of these 5 elements has got one common element, and that common element is sound. Earth has got the sound. Now this earth has got the sound, but I can't hear. Once I place my ears on the earth, you will be able to hear the sound. If you can't hear the sound, then the problem with the ear, because our ear has the capacity to hear the sound or limitation, not to hear below and above certain limit, right or not? So earth has got the sound. Bhumi, Apo. Apo means water. Water has got the sound. When we go to the ocean, it's quite obvious. Analo, fire. When we go to the cremation ground and the fire is burning, we can hear the sound of the fire. Vayu, of course, we know the air has a sound. When the air blows strongly, we can hear the sound of the air. And Kham, the ether, of course, has got the sound. So all these 5 elements I told you, this has got the element of sound. And this means anything which is made of these 5 elements has also got the sound. And all those things have the capacity to absorb the sound and also to produce the sound. Right or not? And if that is true, that means we have to see what kind of sound we are producing or what kind of sound we want to hear. Whatever sounds are produced by the things in the material world, they have the capacity or potency to give us pleasure, but very limited or momentary pleasure. I like to hear the sound of my child, right? We all love our children. We want to hear their voice. Voice looks sweet, but how many times we can hear their voice? 1 time, 2 times. We like them to call us Papa, Papa, Mummy, Mummy, right? But assuming they start calling whole day Papa, Papa, Mummy, Mummy, or assuming for 10 minutes continuously Papa, Mummy, Papa, Mummy, Papa, Mummy, what will happen? Right? You want to hear the voice of your wife and husband and all, right? Because you love them. But how much time you can hear them? How much pleasure you get? Many times we get the young boys, they get the motorbike, very powerful motorbike. Why? Because they like to hear the sound of the bike, But how much time they can hear the sound of the bike, How much pleasure they will get. So the point I am trying to make, all these material worlds, all these material objects in this world makes sounds, and continuously we are hearing the sounds, right or not? There is not even a single moment where our ears are closed. Ear is the only sense which is active throughout the 24 hours. And throughout the 24 hours, we have the sounds going into our ears. And now you have to see like what kind of sound is going into our ears. Is the material sound or the spiritual sound? Material sound means the sound which is created through material objects, right? And on the contrary, there is another sound which is called the spiritual sound. Like just now we did the kirtan, that's a spiritual sound. We play the kartal, That is a spiritual sound. Play the mridang, spiritual sound. We hear Bhagavatam, that's a spiritual sound. So when we play the spiritual sound, then what happens? The nature of the material objects, that changes. The material object will remain same, but its potency will change. You know what is the difference between a temple and a house? The temple is made of the bricks, house is also made of the bricks. Temple has got the cement, house has got the cement. Temple has got the marble floor, house has got the marble. But why do we run to the temple? Why do we bow down in the temple? Why do we take the dust of the floor of the feet of the temple? Right? The things are same. The only difference is that in the temple, there is a deity, Lord Jagannath is there, Krishna is there, who is worshipped, and how it is worshipped, all the times you see the seva is going on, and particularly the kirtan, arti, and keeps going on. And that purifies all these material objects. And the thing is that you can understand when the spiritual sound can purify the material objects, then it can purify even us also. You know, there was a research done by a scientist where it's in Japan, where they had 2 glasses of water, right? Or, no, they had a glass of water and they did the experiment. They kept the glass of water and for a while the people were talking all about everything other than the spiritual. They were talking about the material things. And then they analyzed the structure of the water, particles and all. And then they had another glass of water and for a while everybody was talking about the spiritual things. And later on they analyzed both the glass of water. And they found that the glass of water where the people were talking about the material things, making the material sound, the particles or what you call, they were not very well structured, They were all very much apart, Not beautiful to see, Whereas other glass of water where the people were producing the spiritual sound, those particles of the water, they were all together, they look very beautiful, So what they wanted to prove, that whatever we speak, whatever sound we create, that is a potency on everything around us. And that's the reason that, we chant the same name every day again and again, but we don't get bored. We chant Hare Krishna mantra, right? We chant Om Namah Shivaya. We chant, so many spiritual, like Om Bhur Bhuvasva. So many spiritual vibrations we have. And we have been doing the same thing for years and years. But we don't feel sick of it. Like chanting Hare Krishna mantra 2 hours a day. Prabhupada has taught us, We are chanting repeatedly basically the same thing, Krishna, 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 right? But we never feel sick, Why? Why? Because that is a potency to give us pleasure. If there is no pleasure, we will not chant, right? So the point I am trying to make, is that Lord Jagannath's beautiful form, what was the reason? The reason was that it was so much effect on the Lord, the Lord immediately went into ecstasy. So if you want to worship the Lord Jagannath, then what is the best way to worship the Lord? Is to create the spiritual sound. Creating the spiritual sound means, again, chant the Lord's glories. Read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, do all these things. Otherwise, the Lord is not in the ecstasy. Lord is there, but not in the ecstasy. Right or not? So that's what we should understand from Lord Jagannath's pastime. That Lord Jagannath, from the big eyes, what is he looking at? So, he has got such a big eyes. So from the big eyes, what is he looking? Big eyes, all around, dilated eyes. So he is looking all around. What is he looking at? He is looking at, okay, where are the glories? Where are the people chanting my glories? Where are the people chanting my glories? And wherever he sees people are chanting his glories, he would stop it. That's why you see when the Lord Jagannath is brought to the chariot in Puri, he will stop several times, Because when people call out his names, either with love or in anger, they even rebuke him, they, आप कहते हैं गाली भी देते हैं भगवान को, वो. But Krishna likes to hear those things, because they are in love, they are in ecstasy, So Lord Jagannath will stop there, So since now Dr. Shiva is, very fortunate to have the Lord Jagannath in the house and the installation ceremony is being done. So we have to take care that now every day there should be glorification of the Lord, Every day at least 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, you should be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram. Our scripture says, if at all Lord enters into our heart, it will enter only through years. It will only through years. You all started coming to this program. How? First thing somebody would have told you, right? Through years, right? We heard about it, then we started coming. And the process will continue as long as you keep hearing. And as long as you stop hearing, then the process will stop. our ear is a very powerful, the most powerful sense, and it doesn't stop any point of time. In the night, when the thief enters into our house, we are in, sound sleep. How do we catch the sleep? How do we catch the thief? Right? How do we catch the thief? Only through the sound. And many times we say the sound is non-different from the Lord. What does it mean? That as soon as the sound is there, the sound is equivalent to Krishna himself. Producing a sound is equal to seeing Krishna himself. Imagine there is a thief in the house and he hears the siren of the police car. So what the thief will do? Do you think the thief will wait for the police to come in and so that he can see the police? Thief will not wait that, okay, let the police come in the house, I will see the police and then I will run away. He won't do it. What the thief will do? As soon as he hears, he would run away. He has not seen the police, but the sound of police car siren is a representation of the police itself. Same thing the school, the students, when the one period ends and another period starts, in between there is a gap, right? So as soon as the teacher is out, children start making noise. But many times, what happens, the two teachers start talking outside the class and that time the children, they hear, okay, that's the sound of, my math teacher. What will happen? Immediately, they get quiet. The point I am trying to make, is the represent sound of Krishna's name is non-different than Krishna himself. We all experience these things in the material world in our day-to-day life. Material world is nothing but the reflection of spiritual life. But unfortunately, we don't pay enough attention to our spiritual life. And that's what we should do. The installation of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, it is just the beginning of the hearing. It is not the end itself. And so that's all I think I want to say. And we should all try to hear more and more about Lord Jagannath, glory, particularly chant his name. Now we don't have time, but Krishna willing, sometime we have the time. Jai Krishna Prabhu, sometime we will have the time. Sometime we have the time, we will organize a session, Prabhu, where we will just talk about Hare Krishna mantra. I would like to tell you that why do we chant Hare Krishna mantra, from where it has come. And it is all coming from the scripture. Srila Prabhupada has not given us anything which is not coming from the scriptures. You just take it from me and from everybody else. It is just true. The amount of effort Srila Prabhupada has done, nobody can do it. And that's the reason, that people all around the world, they are taking up so seriously. We have most of the community in our ISKCON, they are highly educated. Right? They are highly educated. Because Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, is meant particularly for the intelligent people. Lord Krishna is the supreme intelligent person. He is the intelligence of the intelligent person. Right? So anybody, intellectual community like engineers, doctor and all, if they pay even little attention, then whatever is said in Bhagavad Gita, that makes perfect sense. It is a science. It's not a fiction. It's not a fiction. Okay, Prabhuji Mataji. But thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji.